Okay, fantastic. Yuna, thank you.
Thank you for listening to me.
All right, you colonize the colonizers.
Yes, I did.
Love it. Okay, now it's time for Q&A. And so if you have questions, please go ahead and type them in the chat, and I'll try to follow them as quickly as possible. So CMF asks, where does Yuna like to travel in South Korea? And where else would she like to go abroad? You've been abroad before, though.
Yes, many places.
So where do you like to travel in South Korea?
Fortunately, I traveled almost all over around South Korea. So now I'm satisfied. So yeah, I just want to stay. You know, as you know, I have a lot of job to do, so work to do.
That's right.
So,
She's busy. Every time we call her, she's driving somewhere.
Right.
Doing something. So, yes. Okay, so she has experienced South Korea.
Yeah,
okay.
I need a vacation. Yes.
At home.
At home, yeah.
Okay. Jonathan. Yes, Jonathan's one of our former volunteers and donor and all that. So, question, how did you feel going back to China? And were you ever worried they may find out about your past?
Yes. Yes, I was so worried. That's why I asked my personal detective that it's going to be okay because I need to go to China because of my work. And he said the best way to be safe, just stay South Korea. But if you have to go, you can go. But he also so worried. But I did, because that time I felt safe because I had a South Korean passport. So I was like, I just took over all the cover, and I wanted to show that the Chinese borders, like the security guys, that I'm, it's a green passport that I became South Korean. So if you want to catch me and try it, but I'm South Korean. I'm not North Korean anymore. So that time I felt so refreshed, as I mentioned in the speech. So that time I felt like I colonized colonizers because they thought I was originally South Korean. So they were like, oh, welcome to China. I was like, okay, yeah. I enjoyed it.
So it's first class treatment this time compared to the past.
Yes, nobody actually, tried to touch me or tried to ask me something. So it was like free pass. Okay, you can go.
Great. Well, Tom Palmer's still watching our previous speaker. He said, a great talk, Yuna.
Oh, thank you so much.
And Sandia, one of our volunteers and fans and donors, she says that this is a common question. But what do you think people outside of North Korea, what can they do to help North Korea become free? Okay, this is the big question.
Big question. And, just think about North Korea, because a lot of people in the world, they don't really care about North Koreans, right? They only care about nuclear bombs and Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un became so infamous, and people know about Kim Jong-un more than North Koreans' daily lives. So just, I want them to focus what North Koreans living like and what they need the most. So the outside of North Korea, the people need to talk about North Korea more and more, especially the freedom and the human rights and human rights and freedom. The problem in North Korea is like really, how can I say that? People don't know about freedom means and what human rights, because they don't allow to use that kind of words in North Korea. So outside of North Korea, the people need to talk about that things more and more. So just spreading North Koreans' real situation. I think that could be help them too.
Question is, how old were you when you first came to South Korea?
I was 21.
That was last year, right?
No? Do I look like 22? Yeah, that was the first time when I arrived in South Korea. But that was Korean age. So internationally, maybe I was 20.
Okay.
Yes. Korean age, yeah, I was 21.
Yeah, for those of you unfamiliar, Koreans somehow add a year or two to their age, and
I feel like that was like yesterday.
Okay.
But I became like 33 for right now. Oh my God, I feel like I'm getting old.
Yes, well, yes, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah,
so
and I can't believe that I actually crossed the Tuman River. That little girl, like 20 years old girl. she just, crossed the Tumen River without parents and without friends, anyone.
Right.
She just did that alone. I feel like, oh my God, Yuna was great.
Well, I mean, it's not the question here, but so when you were escaping, when was that moment when you're like, wow, I can't believe I'm doing this?
As I said, I couldn't believe still. I can't believe still that I actually did it.
But I'm saying when you were escaping, when was that moment like, really, am I really doing this? Am I really going to be successful?
It's because of South Korean dramas, and I knew, right? The government lied to us, and that time finally I learned a lot of things from the South Korean dramas, and I needed to do. But that time, at the moment, I wasn't so sure that I will be success to arrive in South Korea, but I did it anyway because that time I just like the whole like my thinking was like fully fooled about to going to South Korea. So I don't know how I did it actually, but that time there was no choice because I thought I needed to go to South Korea no matter how difficult it is, and even though if I lose my life, but I thought it was worth it.
Okay, and then we just have lots of comments. Eben Appleton, who's the president of the FSI fan club, says, I've heard you sing, Yuna. You have a beautiful voice.
Oh, do I?
Yes, so right now you're going to demonstrate? Right now? Right now? No? Okay, all right.
Maybe, yes.
That is okay, all right. After you finish speaking in
Okay.
Q&A, then later. Okay, all right. So Rebecca, one of our volunteers, donors, fundraisers, event organizer, everything.
Thank you so much
Okay,
for helping
Rebecca
us.
says, great speech, Yuna. Nice to hear you again. Do you have plans to write a book about your experiences in the future?
Yes, I do. I want to write a book, but I believe I'm still young. So one day I'll do it. But maybe, I don't know if that it's going to be like 10 years later or 20 years later, but I'm going to do it.
Okay, all right. This seems to be one of your fans. Frank, did your dad forgive you for taking the money from him?
Yeah. He never actually count on that money, and he was so happy that I arrived in South Korea without, like what is that?
Repatriated?
Yeah,
Okay.
to North Korea. So he didn't ask me about that money. I never pay back actually. Yeah, I just took it. Yeah, that's father's money. Yeah.
Oh, funny. So, okay, and then going back up, I saw a question asking you, did you learn English in North Korea? No, I taught her everything she knows. No, so when did you first start to learn English? Was it in North Korea?
Yeah, in North Korea.
Okay.
Actually, when Kim Il-sung's time, Kim Il-sung actually let North Korean people have to learn Russian.
Okay.
So my both parents, they learned Russian from their high school and elementary school, I think. But after the Soviet Union collapsed, Kim Il-sung maybe thought that Russian is going to be not useful anymore. So he, started to, they had to learn English. So only like one class or two classes in the school, they picked as English classes. And luckily, my class was picked as English speaker classes. So I was learned English from that moment.
Okay, but the question about learning English is then the next question I'm going to ask, what kind of English? I've heard that it's just propaganda, it's not really...
Propaganda English, yes. Like our great leader sacrificed himself for the nation, something like that. And then we are the, what is that? Like soldiers of our great leader and something like that. So like Americans are wolves covered human body, so they're not human. They're like sworn enemy and bastards, and we need to fight, and we need to kill them. So we are the target when we are practice as military training. When I was 15, I actually shoot the American targets.
Okay.
So
Yes.
yeah. We learned that kind of English. So one day I asked my English teacher that why we have to learn English. He said, when we, probably like when we're like, what is that, like, what is that, war? During the war, when we capture them, the Americans, we need to say to them like, move, get in this way, and hands up, something like that. So that's why we need to learn the enemy's words.
So you need to learn their language, so when you are defeating them in the war, you can tell them, we defeated you.
Right.
Okay,
Yes. So you need to do whatever I say. So move here and get in there, something like that. So yeah, that was the first time I learned English like that.
Oh, funny. Okay. And then, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce the name here. Please forgive me, but Swap Nayu, maybe. Did many people in your city suffer during the Great Famine? Now, which part of North Korea are you from?
Jagang province.
Okay.
It was Pyeongan-bukdo province. So it's near to Pyongyang city. And that's why I'm using Pyeongwon-do accent Korean, like dialect. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, this, I guess, more of a question for me. Tamika asked, how could she get involved? First of all, go on our website, fsi21.org. I believe we have a form there for people to sign up as volunteers. And if that's not correct, then just find me on the internet. I'm very easy to find, Facebook.
He's very
Instagram,
famous.
yeah. Well, I'm not famous, but I'm easy to find. I don't hide. But these days, book publishing was something we're really interested in. Building the organization. So we're interested in people who really want to build. So that means fundraising, marketing, strategy. How do we be able to spread out more about the work that we're doing, and also to have more people involved. So, but I can talk about that later. I don't want to take away from Yuna's time. Jason West, thanks for your testimony. Jason's one of our friends in the USA.
Oh, okay.
Well, absurd, alien, okay, I guess is real. Says, hey, Yuna, how are your violin lessons going? Are there any songs you're currently learning?
No, not really. I learned violin when I was 12. That was the first time. And for nowadays, I'm busy with my work, so I don't really have time to practice. So right now, I'm not learning any new songs.
Okay, but you played at our Giving Tuesday event last year.
Right.
Yes,
I
we've
did.
seen
I
you
did.
perform.
Yes.
That was great. Okay, Brooke. I'm not sure which Brooke this is, but Brooke says, love seeing you again. Yuna, great speech. My question is, what kind of little freedoms have you discovered in life, such as any hobbies or things that you could not do or that you could not enjoy in North Korea?
That's going to be very simple. Internet. I'm using internet every day, 24/7. And I'm using, I'm the electricity. And the words you wanted to say, wherever, you can go anywhere freely with your own car. That feel like weird, sometimes, because every time when I drive, I feel like, oh my God, I'm in South Korea, yes, but not in North Korea. That kind of things. Never using the internet and driving your own car. You cannot even move to your parents' house because the provinces are different. You need to apply for a visa. It's such like crazy country. I can't believe that I actually lived in there.
Michael Barr is asking, so you're in North Korea, what was your view of pets, animals, versus now in South Korea?
Yeah, in South Korea, the dogs and the animals' lives better than North Koreans, actually. They get a shot and vaccine and whatever, but North Koreans, they don't have enough vaccine. So I don't really think that I got the vaccines every the ages and different time. But in here, pets are just like your company with your life, right? That is your friend and best friend, something like that. But in North Korea, they're all animals, so there is no pet kind of things. They're all animals. Even when you raise any animals in your house, they're gonna be a meat one day. So even pet. Yes. So in North Korea, we just call them dog, but in here, like a puppy, all of them, they have all names, like a human. Like, oh, your love, your candy, something like that. One day, actually, I met a South Korean guy. He said, oh, I'm a father of love. I was like, oh, maybe his daughter name is Love. But he just showed me his little dog, like a pet. I was like, are you dog's father? And he said, yeah, I have a dog. He was not happy actually when I called that dog. He wanted to call it puppy.
Yes, well, Michael Barr says family member.
Family member, yes.
That's the way I guess he thinks animals should be viewed. Okay.
Yes, that's really big difference between North and South.
Yeah. Well, Sandia, she has horses. I don't know the exact story, and dogs and all that. So she asked, I guess, a little more specifically, how do you feel about pet animals? I guess as animals as pets. This might be a big philosophical question.
But I don't have any pets for right now. But I would love to, but my father, he's disagree because I'm not independent. So I live with my parents. So
you escaped from North Korea, but still you're not quite.
Yeah. I'm looking for real freedom.
Okay, and then Yuchol, who I think I'll be meeting very soon, says, very impressive speech, Yuna.
Thank you.
Have you ever visited schools or any educational events to meet students or educators and give lectures or presentations? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's my job.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm using my mouth to earn money and living out this dream country. Yeah, that's my job. I'm public speaker, and I actually have visited almost everywhere in South Korea, like a lot of universities and schools and some organizations, and I gave them lectures and speech all the time. Yeah, that is my job. And please invite me where? United States, and Europe,
wherever.
anywhere.
Yes. Well, so Yuna is one of our speakers, but she is a public speaker,
Right.
English, Korean, wide range of topics. So we're really... you're one of those students. We're just so happy that you joined us.
Yes.
So you joined us back in...
No, 2018?
2018, yes. And I guess I don't know if we announced it earlier, but she was the winner of our 11th English speech contest. And you won other speech contests.
It was really honored, yes.
Yes, right, great. Okay, and then what kind of volunteering opportunities are there? Okay, so we no longer do the tutoring, but we do need a handful of mentors. But we need people who are just professional and serious and focused, and it's not like a hangout kind of organization or program that we have now. But besides that, we need people who love editing, writing. We do need help with that. For example, when speakers are going to present, we'd like to at least have someone check their work. But also we need help with other kinds of writing, marketing. So there are all kinds of ways. And I think the main thing is that we tell people, please follow us, watch what we're doing, and please, why don't you make a suggestion to me about how you can get involved? Because we're busy. So, but we need people who can use their own brains and come up with their own ideas. So follow us, propose it, and then we can try to get it done. Okay, and then... Okay, so Ken Stewart, who I know is one of your fans also, and he's one of our donors and fans also.
Yeah.
So he asked, I remember you cooking and eating something in your YouTube channel? Tentacles?
Did I?
I can't really see the... Okay. Have you ever cooked something and eaten it on your YouTube channel?
I'm not a good cook, but I'm good at eating. So maybe I was eating in a YouTube channel, but I'm not sure where. Maybe Jongyun TV, the Korean YouTube channel.
Or maybe you were like on, because also you're on various YouTube channels and
right,
TV shows and maybe somewhere along there. Okay, well, I think we answered this one before, but Evan Appleton asked, do you plan to do much traveling to foreign countries? But you've traveled already lots of places. You said you need a break.
Right. Yeah. I did. I actually, like 2-3 weeks ago, I finished my self-quarantine after I visited United States.
Yes.
So that was the last trip. And I did 4 times of COVID-19 test. And it was not happy at all. I was almost like hit somebody because it was like, oh God, it was so hurt. Oh God. No, after finished the COVID-19, not right now.
Okay. And then T alarm, I guess. Have you seen Crash Landing on You? And is it accurate?
The 사랑의 불시착, the Korean drama. Yeah, I was actually helped to that scripts. So I was involved, building that drama. So I was a member who...
That means it's accurate then.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. You were involved.
Suggesting them to use some kind of North Korean words and accent because that drama actually, was talking about the some kind of like DMZ line. So they're all using Pyongyang accent. Pyongyang accent, so I was actually helping them to use North Korean real accent and words. So yeah.
Yeah, and she says she's a busy lady. So then when people ask you about the show, you can say, "I know one of the people who helped make it happen." Okay.
Yeah, if you watch that drama, end of the drama, every single episode there was my name on it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, like Yuna Jung. She corrected some words and something like that, and then she assisted the words, something like that. So
Excellent. Yeah. Okay, I didn't know that. Another thing about you. All right. Josephine Kim. But she asked, what are your thoughts on mental health support for North Korean refugees?
Oh, that's a very thoughtful question because a lot of North Korean defectors actually have that kind of mental problem, because most of them, they lived in China and they were like, running and hide themselves from the Chinese police without any traveling documents. So that kind of trauma they still have. So sometimes also they have some kind of like nightmares about shooting North Korean soldiers and like chasing from them, something like that. So a lot of people actually have that kind of mental problem. And now I believe the South Korean government, they actually try to help them. So if they, say to the Unification Institute or Unification where? Ministry, yeah. The organizations, they need get a help. So when they send email or I don't know, letters, they try to help them. So I believe there are a lot of hospitals and doctors who willingly to help North Korean refugees.
Okay, and then big question. Okay, Roman Williams asked, why can't South Korea do anything to help North Koreans?
They do actually, but sometimes the Kim Jong-un refused, right? Like last year, the South Korean government, they tried to give them powder, or what is it, like rice and I believe something. A lot of efforts they actually did it, but Kim Jong-un refused that. I don't know why. And like last week, I saw the news that United States, I don't know who said that, WHO, whatever, the worldly, they wanted to give them some vaccines. But they also refused that. I don't know why. Kim Jong-un just represented all North Koreans. Yeah. I don't think he cares about North Koreans' health. They don't care about the someone who dying because of COVID-19. They only, care about to maintain that dictatorial government and that kind of system and regime. So I don't think he cares about North Koreans' illness or real lives conditions, something like that.
A couple of years ago, I wrote a column, and I said that instead of the South Korean government sending money to North Korea, give it to North Korean refugees here. And pay off their debts and all whatever, and they can send it directly to their family members people can get it instead of government to government. Okay.
Right.
Okay, then Frank Worthen, how much danger is there of being kidnapped? Okay, because you mentioned you went to China, and of course some North Korean refugees like you are speaking out. So some refugees have gone to the USA to get away from North Korea, but do you ever think you might be kidnapped? by the North Korean regime?
Maybe because when like 2 years ago, I needed to go to, where was that? Wien, Austria.
Austria. Okay.
Yeah,
Vienna,
Wien.
maybe?
Yeah,
Okay.
Vienna. And my personal detective, he actually disagreed what I, go to Austria, because he actually showed me some people that they actually kidnapped from there by North Korean, I don't know, government. But anyway, I went there, but I didn't feel any dangerous things there. But I don't know, maybe some people actually disappeared, like 29.
Yeah, Im Ji-yeon, I think it's
Im Ji-yeon and some of them are too. So we are not sure actually the North Korean government actually captured them. But what I believe as a North Korean defector who living in South Korea, I feel all the human rights and freedom. I don't want to go back to North Korea, never. But 29 people actually went back to North Korea by their choice. I don't believe it. So maybe I believe some of them are actually captured by North Korean government.
Okay. Well, I want to ask it a slightly different way. Does the North Korean government so much target people like you or families?
No, not
Families
really.
back in North Korea.
Maybe families back in North Korea to watching them and always what they're doing it, or their if they have some connection with defectors in South Korea, but they don't really put them in jail without any evidence. But yeah, sure, they are watching them all the time. And also they monitoring my South Korean YouTube channel and English YouTube channel, because I'm always, criticize them and like some bad words to Kim Jong-un and that regime. So I'm sure they don't like me, but I don't think they always maybe we need to kidnap Yuna and bring her to North Korea, something like that. I don't think so. But maybe the Taeyong-oh,
Okay.
that kind of big guy, maybe they wanted to capture, but I don't think me. I'm nothing.
But I have heard that once you start to become a public figure, such as being on Imangap,
Yes.
that you're like on a target list. Or at
Yes,
least
yes,
the monitoring you.
I got some threatening messages from North Korea that you are like a betrayer, and you need to leave with quiet, and you need to hide yourself, because we are gonna hurt you or something like that. But not anymore. That was the first time. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Maddie, also one of our former volunteers and fundraisers. Have you ever faced discrimination for being North Korean from South Koreans? And if so, why do you think there isn't more empathy, from South Koreans for North Korean refugees?
I think it's because of the long division, So the culture has culture actually has different way to develop. So, and South Koreans they think they learned more and they experienced more, and they think they're higher than North Koreans, because North Korean people, they don't have a chance to study abroad compared to South Koreans. So it's some kind of discriminations about that North Korea is a poor country, and 75 years of division, and the culture is different. So they don't think North Koreans are the same nation anymore, because they don't never feel like same land. So only 70 or 80 generations, they feel like, oh, North Koreans are our same blood and same nation, something like that. But younger generations, they don't care about North Korean people anymore. They only care about their future and their jobs. And South Korea is a very competitive society. So I actually admit that kind of situation, because younger generations are having a hard time to survive in here. So they don't really have time to care about North Korea anymore. But politically, politicians are care about North Korea, but I don't know, sometimes they're using it or actually they care about it. Yeah, so I think the big things is about the different accent and different dialect, and different culture, different education. That kind of things actually bring a lot of discriminations between North Koreans and South Koreans.
Where can people find you on the internet?
You can check Yuna Jung in YouTube, because I have English YouTube channel, Yuna from DPRK. So you can see me there, and also Love Yuna 88. That is my Instagram ID. So you can find me there. Yuna is actually easy to find, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yuna 80, Love Yuna 88.
Yeah, Love
Okay.
Yuna 88. That's my Instagram username.
And Facebook. And then is there any, from Brooke again, is there any destination perceived as being the most safe from the North Korean government? So where can you hide, or where can you be safe from the North Korean government?
I think United States is more safe. But, you know, a lot of North Korean defectors living in South Korea nowadays. More than 30,000 people, right?
About 30. So in the last 2 decades, about 34,000 have come to South Korea.
Yeah, so they are living okay. So, you know, South Korea, we actually, you know, look, like as I said, I have personal detective. So South Korea, the government actually, they try their best to, you know, keep them safe. So United States is more safe, okay, I can say that. But South Korea, it's okay too.
Okay. And there's a question here. Is it possible to adopt a North Korean?
I don't think so. Have you ever
From
seen?
where? I mean, from
North
North
Korea?
Korea?
I don't think so. But maybe you can adopt me. Because Yuna is here, and if you're living in United States, please adopt me. Yeah, I'll be more safe if I go to United States, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I can be a baby.
All right. And then, real fan here. You know, no one ever asked me this question. Okay, Yuna, where can we send funding if we want to support you financially?
Oh, you can say that. You have a bank account. Like support.
I guess
for who? Like North Korean refugees?
So, for example, on your YouTube channel, if someone can like send money to you, or what's the?
If you go to Yuna from DPRK, the YouTube English channel, there is a PayPal link. But I want you to help KC, the organization, because this KC and Eunkoo Lee, they helped a lot of North Korean university students who actually desperately need to learn English to leave this country. So please help Casey instead of Yuna.
Okay, and she's not just saying it because she's on with us now. She gave a speech recently. They wanted to pay, and Yuna said, "That's okay. Please give it to the organization instead."
Yes. A lot of North Korean refugees actually need Casey and Eunkoo Lee more than Yuna. They need to learn English because, you know, I know the North Koreans, they didn't have a chance to learn English and get good education systems in North Korea. So finally, they found their freedom and a chance to learn a lot of things in here. But English is always a problem. So Casey and Eunkoo Lee, they're doing really great job for the North Korean refugees. So please help this organizations.
Right, sounds fantastic. So that means go on our website, which is fsi21.org. We have various donate options there, and we also have our old website still, lovetnkr.org. And Yuna, thank you so much.
Thank you so much
Glad
for
you
having
could come
me
out
here.
and give a speech and take
great.
questions from everybody. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Yes, and thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.